Yeah, you mentioned Mourinho there, Kieran, which leads me nicely onto the next thing I want to ask you about because again, it was a video I seen that you did a few weeks or months ago in terms of managers who's made the most money from getting sacked as a manager, and obviously Mourinho is quite well known for this. So, first question I want to ask you in terms of that is how does that work? So let's say Mourinho signs a 5 year deal, and I don't know what he gets paid, 10, 15 million pound a year, whatever, and he's sacked after a year. Would he? Is it a kind of they have to agree on the payout, or is it just you're paying him out for the full term of his contract? How does that work, or do they kind of continue to pay them a wage until they find a job? I have no idea, so I'm curious to ask.
Well, it varies from contract to contract. It varies just how desperate the club is for that particular manager. I know some managers in League Two who are working for glorified expenses because they're just desperate to get a job, desperate to get their name into the frame in terms of progressing their career.
Yeah,
At the higher echelons, the player will have legal advisors who will say, well, in the case of a manager being removed of their duties. Yeah, whenever you hear the words mutual agreement, it means that the manager's been sacked.
mm,
That there is a case for saying, well, hold on, I signed a 5 year contract. You've dismissed me, 12 months into that contract. I am entitled to some form of financial recompense because you're holding me responsible for the fact that a 22-year-old young man missed a sitter from 6 yards and it's now cost me my job. And to hold a manager responsible for mistakes made by others is unreasonable. So there is normally some form of earn-out arrangement. At the same time, the manager does have an obligation to try to find alternative employment to try to mitigate the loss incurred by the company. But in the case of Mourinho, I think his total payouts, and remember, he's got some pretty big clubs paying him out: Chelsea twice, Manchester United, Spurs, now Roma. I think it's somewhere in the region of £80 million from payouts, plus of course all of the money he's earned as a coach, the bonuses for winning trophies, and everything that goes on top of that.
that's not bad, not bad if you can get it, Kieran. So